In a world that feeds on noise, she chose silence. When headlines swirled, when opinions multiplied, when the internet demanded answers, Beyoncé did something unexpected. She didn't argue, she didn't explain, she didn't react. She disappeared. For months, even years at a time, the world would ask the same question: where is Beyoncé? But what many mistook for retreat was actually reinvention. Because sometimes the strongest answer to doubt isn't defense, it's dominance. This is the story of how Beyoncé turned silence into strategy, heartbreak into art, and pressure into power. Long before she became a global symbol of excellence, Beyoncé Giselle Knowles was a young girl in Houston, Texas, with a quiet determination that set her apart. Born in 1981, she grew up in a close-knit family. Her mother, Tina Knowles, nurtured her creativity. Her father, Matthew Knowles, recognized her ambition early on, but talent alone did not guarantee success. Beyoncé entered talent shows as a child. She won some, she lost others. One early defeat hit particularly hard. After losing a competition, she was devastated. But instead of retreating, she practiced harder. She studied performance, she learned discipline. Even as a child, she understood something many adults struggle to accept. Disappointment is not the end, it is instruction. In the 1990s, she joined a girl group that would eventually evolve into Destiny's Child. The journey was not smooth. Lineups changed, internal challenges surfaced. The music industry was competitive and unforgiving. Yet through the turbulence, Beyoncé developed a reputation for work ethic. Long rehearsals, endless vocal training, attention to detail. She wasn't just chasing fame, she was building mastery. And that mastery would soon meet opportunity. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, Destiny's Child became one of the best-selling girl groups of all time. Songs like Say My Name, Survivor, and Independent Women weren't just hits, they were anthems of confidence and resilience. The word survivor would later feel prophetic. In 2003, Beyoncé stepped into solo stardom with her debut album, Dangerously in Love. The world saw her differently now, not just as a group member, but as a singular force. Her voice carried power, her performances radiated precision, her ambition was unmistakable. Awards followed, chart-topping singles followed, global recognition followed. But with greater visibility came greater scrutiny. Every relationship was analyzed, every decision is debated, every public appearance dissected. Fame amplified everything, including vulnerability. And when she married fellow music icon Jay-Z in 2008, their relationship became one of the most closely watched partnerships in modern pop culture. For years, they represented aspiration, success, influence, stability. But even the most admired unions faced storms. In 2014, a private family conflict became public in an instant. Security footage showing an elevator altercation between Jay-Z and Beyoncé's sister Solange circulated widely online. The clip spread across the globe within hours. Speculation exploded. Questions filled headlines. Yet Beyoncé said almost nothing. No dramatic interviews, no public blame, no emotional press conferences. Silence. In a culture addicted to immediate explanation, her quiet felt unusual, almost defiant. 2 years later, in 2016, she released Lemonade. And without naming names, without staging interviews, she told a story. Through music, through poetry, through imagery that blended vulnerability and power. Lemonade explored betrayal, anger, forgiveness, heritage, and healing. It acknowledged pain without surrendering dignity. Listeners connected deeply. The album debuted at #1. Critics praised its artistry. Fans saw courage. It wasn't a public argument. It was a creative response. And that distinction mattered. Sometimes the strongest answer to heartbreak is not revenge, but growth. Lemonade marked more than a musical release. It marked a shift in control. Instead of letting gossip define her narrative, Beyoncé authored it herself. She chose art over argument. She chose excellence over explanation. And perhaps most importantly, she chose patience. In later interviews, both Beyoncé and Jay-Z acknowledged the work required to rebuild trust and strengthen their relationship. They spoke about therapy, about accountability, about growth. Not perfection, growth. Behind the glamour was something deeply human. Two people confronting challenges under the weight of global attention. And here is where the true turning point lies. Beyoncé didn't present herself as unbreakable. She presented herself as evolving. True identity is revealed when a person chooses to rebuild instead of retreat. After Lemonade, many wondered what came next. Would she continue addressing personal pain? Would she retreat from the spotlight? Instead, she expanded her empire. In 2018, Beyoncé became the first Black woman to headline Coachella. What followed was not just a performance, it was a cultural moment. With a marching band inspired by historically Black colleges and universities, layered choreography, and nearly 2 hours of relentless precision, she delivered what fans later called Beyoncé. But behind that triumph was sacrifice. She later revealed in her documentary Homecoming that she had given birth to twins via emergency C-section. She described the physical and emotional toll of recovery, the intense rehearsals, the strict diet, the exhaustion. It would have been understandable to scale back. Instead, she scaled up. The performance became a celebration of Black culture, scholarship, resilience, and excellence. It wasn't just entertainment, it was intentional. And once again, she let work speak louder than words. Success after adversity often speaks louder than any argument. She continued to build beyond music. Her fashion ventures expanded. Her philanthropic initiatives supported disaster relief, small businesses, and educational scholarships. Through her Baygood Foundation, she invested in communities quietly and consistently. Then came Renaissance in 2022, a vibrant, dance-driven album celebrating freedom, joy, and creative expression. After years of deeply personal reflection, she pivoted toward liberation. It was as if she was saying, "I have processed the pain, now I will celebrate the power." The Renaissance. The world tour became one of the highest-grossing tours of all time. Stadium after stadium, city after city. Not fueled by scandal, fueled by artistry. What changed during this period wasn't just her career, it was public perception. Beyoncé was no longer seen simply as a pop star. She became a symbol of controlled narrative. In an era where oversharing is common, she demonstrated restraint. In a culture that rewards reaction, she practiced patience. Her silence was not a weakness, it was discipline. Young artists began studying her model: strategic releases, minimal interviews, maximum impact. She proved that mystery can coexist with transparency, that vulnerability can exist without chaos, that strength can look quiet. And perhaps most importantly, she redefined what a comeback can look like. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to attack. It can be deliberate, thoughtful, elevated. She showed that you can face public doubt, acknowledge private struggle, and still rise with grace. There's a powerful lesson hidden in Beyoncé's silence. When people doubted her quietness, they assumed she had nothing to say. But silence can be a workshop. It can be a strategy room. It can be a place where identity is reforged. In interviews over the years, Beyoncé has emphasized hard work and faith. She once said, "I don't like to gamble, but if there's one thing I'm willing to bet on, it's myself." That mindset echoes through her journey. Not denial, not defensiveness. Belief. Belief that excellence compounds over time. Belief that healing is stronger than headlines. Belief that character reveals itself in consistency. We often imagine revenge as dramatic, sharp words, public victories, visible triumph. But perhaps the most powerful revenge is elevation. To become so grounded in your purpose that criticism loses its volume. To become so focused on growth that doubt becomes irrelevant. To transform pain into performance. To turn questions into legacy. Beyoncé's story reminds us that resilience isn't about pretending you're untouched by hardship. It's about choosing what you build afterward. It's about recognizing that silence can be strength. It's about understanding that identity is not shattered by challenge, it is clarified by it. And maybe that is why her success resonates so deeply. Because beneath the fame, beneath the choreography, beneath the awards, there is a universal truth. We all face moments when people question us. We all face seasons when explanation feels exhausting. We all face crossroads where we can either react or rebuild. Beyoncé chose to rebuild, and in doing so, she created something louder than any rebuttal. Legacy. In the end, they doubted her silence, but her success became her answer. Not shouted, not rushed, earned, and perhaps that is the most powerful comeback of all.